violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, cyberspace? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
The hospital after a shooting at a Virginia elementary school. It happened about 3 hours ago around 2 o'clock. That's when the Newport News School was put on lockdown. About an hour later, police said there was no longer an active shooter at the building. We do not know the severity of the teacher's injuries.
So you have another school shooting in Virginia elementary school. This one is pretty tough, man, because now we're starting to see these school shootings in elementary schools. At first, it was just high schools, maybe middle schools on occasion, but now it's elementary schools. These super toddler gremlins are on demon time.
However, we have learned no students were hurt in this shooting.
Coming out of Newport News, where right now police and parents converging on a Newport News elementary school because of a shooting that sent a teacher to the hospital. But tonight, it's who pulled the trigger that's the really shocking element to this report.
First at 4, Makia Turner is following the story for us. What is happening here, Makia?
Well, Kurt and Rachel, tonight, this scene right now unfolding at Richneck Elementary School. This is in Norfolk, and sources are telling us that the accused shooter, a student. Here's what we know so far. The teacher was shot around 2 o'clock this afternoon and is being treated at a local hospital right now.
So it's not like somebody just came into the school who didn't belong and they pulled the strap and made it start blasting off. No. It's more of a case where you have a student who brought the strap to school and aired out.
Right now, there is no word on their condition. We don't know what led up to the shooting just yet, but we do know police are saying that no students were hurt and that this is not an active shooter situation. The person they say is responsible for the shooting is in custody. Now, parents have been rushing to the school to pick up their kids. We also have a crew on the way to the scene. John Hood will join us coming up on Live at 5. And of course, we'll bring you any updates as we learn more. In the First Alert Center, Makia Turner, NBC 12 News. Kurt?
Thanks, Makia.
Faculty and staff in this building, the way they responded was heroic.
The way they responded was heroic. That's Newport News Police Chief Steve Drew talking about the shooting inside Richneck Elementary. We've been following this breaking news for you all afternoon.
If you're just joining us, here's what we know so far. A staff member was shot. Police say no one else was hurt, including students. We're told the shooter is in custody, and right now students are being reunited with their parents inside the gym. We also know that an adult who was shot was taken to Riverside Regional Medical Center.
And that's where Angelique Arentak is live right now. And Angelique, what can you tell us?
So many people in this community and really all across Hampton Roads are hoping and praying for the recovery of this teacher. Newport News Police Chief Steve Drew says medics rushed that teacher from Richneck Elementary School to here, Riverside Regional Medical Center. It is not yet clear the extent of that teacher's injuries. All
right, so just looking at the context clues, I see a lot of bonnets. A lot of dyed hair, a lot of wigs, a lot of weaves, and a lot of split ends. So I'm going to go on a limb and say this isn't the best area. And I'm looking up Richneck Elementary on Great Schools, and they have a 4 out of 10 rating. So not the best, below average test scores, average academic progress, below average equity, as they called it. Okay, so their math, reading, and science scores are not meeting up to the standards. Let's see. Demographics: 44% black, 26% white, 16% Hispanic. I hope, I pray that this child who shot this teacher is not from the community.
It is not yet clear the extent of that teacher's injuries or exactly how they are doing. A Riverside Health spokesperson tells me they are unable to comment about the teacher's condition because of privacy laws and the ongoing investigation. A school board member this afternoon confirms to 13 News Now that a student is suspected of shooting the teacher. The student is now in police custody. That suspect is in police custody, authorities say. Both school administrators and police say no students are hurt after today's shooting at Richneck Elementary School. A reunification site there is underway. Parents are lining up, just waiting to be with their children again. Live in Newport News, Angelique Aaron Talk, 13 News Now.
All right, Angelique, thank you. And we want to listen to Chief Drew again to give a little more context about what happened this afternoon. Here's what he had to say within the last couple of hours.
The children are safe. We do have the individual in custody. I have an adult female that suffered a gunshot wound at the hospital. I want to get an update on her as quick as I can. We do have officers and staff there. And the number one process right now is to make sure we have counselors with our most precious thing we have, right, our students, and to get them back acquainted with their parents. That's what we're doing right now.
All right, and according to the school board member tells me the suspect is a student. We are waiting for confirmation from police on that. This story is still developing. We're still working to find out how the staff member, we're told it's a teacher, is doing, and to learn more about the person responsible.
All right, guys, so we have a concerned parent pulling up to the school and giving her take on the incident that happened at Richneck Elementary. So let's hear what she has to say.
Guns, okay? That's the biggest problem in this country. The statistics in the UK for crime is 0 for guns. Why is it so bad? Why is there a 7-year-old with a bloody gun? Come on, think about it. Let's do something. We've got...
And they're trying to blame the guns again. She's trying to talk about the UK, but the stabbings are up. So you could talk about the shootings all day long, but these stabbings are up in the UK. So if people want to harm someone, they're going to use a weapon that they see fit, that they can get their hands on. And in the UK, shootings aren't 0 either, okay? Shootings still happen. People get their hands on weapons. It's just a lot harder, or firearms rather. It's just a lot harder, and it's easier to just pull out that knife and shiv somebody, as they would call it. So she's not right when it comes to her statistics, her data. And if she is really upset on why this first grader, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, whatever, had a weapon, then she needs to get active in her community and or maybe move to a different community, because it comes down to the parenting.
A new governor now. Let's do something. Let's change it. You've got a beautiful country. You've got beautiful people. But what's the problem? Guns. How does a 7-year-old have a gun? That's what I'm pissed off with. I'm only here because my husband's in the military, or otherwise I would not have chosen to come to this.
So her husband is in the military. She's trying to talk about the U.S. All right. And we all have our gripes and our issues. And we're all tired of this violence. We are. But
yo, what's good, BGZM News 17 family? I'm at the corner of Jesse Jackson and Marcus Garvey. And I got some bad news for you. As you can see, I lost my job. I'm out here living in cardboard boxes outside of boarded up vacant homes. YouTube said I'm done getting money out here in these streets. They even took my funky ass suit. So anything right now would help. So go ahead and hit that Cash App, hit that PayPal, hit that GoFundMe. Hell, cop the merch. Or if you want to make the long-term commitment to the Jinquavius Jackson Fund, join the Patreon so that I can continue to put out top-notch content each and every day. Also, check out the Rumble, where there is absolutely no censorship link in the description box below.
Hey, yo, ain't that nigga did Quavius? Yo, I recognize.
No, that's not me no more.
Hey, yo, run your pop.
Y'all killing me with this shit.
Do the opposite of Antonio Brown and take
What
all your
more do you want from me?
Welcome to News 3 at 4. I'm Ari Cruz.
I'm Kurt Williams in for Barbara Sierra, and we want to get right to breaking news out of Newport News, where police are on scene at Richneck Elementary School. Police tell us a teacher was shot and has been taken to the hospital. No word on the extent of her injuries.
Now, police tell us that fortunately no students were injured in this incident. Police Chief Steve Drew from the Newport News Police Department says a suspect is in custody but would not release any details about that suspect. But when asked by a reporter how a student was able to get a gun into the school, the chief said he did not want to go into that at this time.
Police are now working to reunite students with families.
So he didn't want to reveal how the student was able to get a strap into the school. The fact that you might need metal detectors in these schools is crazy.
Limited information at this time. We are working to learn more about what led up to this shooting.
That's right. We have reporters Ellen Ice and Kelsey Jones at the scene right now. We're going to start with Ellen. Now, Ellen, I can imagine it's a very chaotic scene. Parents were very worried. What have you learned so far?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was actually over by the reunification area, which is by Deal and Monroe, and parents were obviously visibly upset. There were people crying. They were trying to just handle this information, and they had police. Let's actually go ahead and show you that video now. They had everyone split up into groups. So they were calling by grade level, and they were letting parents through to get their child starting at the kindergarten level. And then with a valid ID, you were able to pick up your child and walk away with them. Now, I did actually speak with a few parents. One had a 4th grade son, and he told me, just a moment, sorry, an active scene out here. Again, the 4th grade student, the parent I talked to had a 4th grade student, and he was obviously visibly upset. The parent told me her very first feeling was relief when she was able to grasp her son in her arms. Again, a very fluid and active scene out here, but again, there is no active shooter at this time. No students were injured, and again, a female teacher is at the hospital. And just for clarity,
a 6-year-old caused all this. Like I said, I pray that he is not from the community. The numbers as far as the population of the school are not looking good. So I really hope that this young man is not from the community.
sake, we are here at Richneck Elementary in Newport News. For now, I'm going to send it back to you guys. Live in Newport News, Ellen Ice, News 3.
Ellen, thank you so much for bringing us that. Now, we'll continue to bring you updates as we continue on this story. This is a developing issue now. If you haven't already, make sure you have the News 3 app on your phone. You'll get breaking news alerts and up-to-the-minute details, and it's free to download at WTKR.com/apps. We are going to toss it to, go ahead.
Yeah, well, before we completely wrap up our coverage, the new mayor was on the scene out there. We want to hear from him.
The police did an amazing job. They're here very, very quickly.
Lord have mercy. How does this happen? Once we get a new mayor, brother, and then boom, 6-year-old shoots a teacher at an elementary school. You can't make this stuff up. Hey, shout out to him. I hope that he is not like the other melanated mayors throughout the U.S., like Eric Adams, LaToya Contrail, London Breed. I hope that he actually is going to be able to get results, right?
Along with the sheriff's office, we are ensuring that everyone is safe. We are ensuring that everyone is accounted for. They're going to be in the cafeteria right now, and people are being escorted out to their parents. We're going to have more information at a later time. I am on scene, as well as the rest of the council members. This is a unified effort with the school board members as well. It's a long day for Newport News, but we're going to ensure that everyone's taken care of. Okay, thanks so much, everyone.
Okay, so right behind the new mayor, you saw Police Chief Steve Drew there. So, I mean, it's like full hands-on out there. These are live pictures right here of parents being reunited with their kids. So I mean, just imagine that you think it's going to be a normal Friday, and then you get this frantic news, and so parents rushed up there to be reunited with their kids. I mean, the good news is that, as the chief was saying, no students were injured in this. We are still working on getting the condition of the teacher who was injured at the scene, but we do know that she was taken to the hospital.
That's right, and they are saying that police are escorting those people and those kids, and we just got in that our News 3 reporter Kelsey Jones is also live at the scene, so we're going to head out to her right now in the scene with more information. Now, Kelsey, I know that you're still getting there. It's a chaotic scene. We're learning a lot. The Newport News mayor is there. The police chief is there. Now, what can you tell us?
Kurt, Pari, is a very chaotic scene, but much calmer than what it was about an hour ago. I mean, a shooting happened here in my hometown, right at Richneck Elementary School. Police did confirm with us that a teacher was shot. Now, what we do know is, we're still trying to put the pieces together, but what we do know is that the most important objective right now is to reunite students with parents, and all students are safe right now. Malik Emanuel is actually going to zoom in and show you the parents in the parking lot here at Richneck Elementary School. As you can see, there is a huge crowd, and parents are frantic, and truly they are concerned and just really don't know what to do right now. Now, there is no threat to the public according to police, and the incident started around 2 p.m. and Steve Drew said their tactical team did enter the building, and as I mentioned before, Kurt and Pari, a teacher was shot and taken to Riverside Hospital. Now, the suspect is in custody, and we're working to learn more details about the gunman and what possibly led up to the shooting. And as you can see, it is a pretty active scene here. And as Kurt mentioned before, this Friday, what was a normal Friday, is now not. And many parents are just concerned about.
Imagine that, man. Right before the weekend, shooting happens. How can you send your kids back to that elementary school? How can you?
Their students. As I was pulling into the scene, I saw many parents crying, wanting to know where's their child safe. Now, this is still an active investigation. Police are still trying to put the pieces to the puzzle together, and I will be out here throughout the day giving you all more updates. For now, stay with us at News 3 in Newport News. I'm Kelsey Jones, News 3.
Hey, Kelsey, before you go, just so that we have a clear understanding, all of those folks behind you that are kind of like moving in a direction, it's that you gave us a glimpse behind you. Those are what, families be reunited with their kids?
Yes, that is the reunification center. Parents, guardians are all trying to be reconnected again with their children. You actually, right before my live hit, there were some parents coming up under this caution tape right there behind me, holding their children tight because they safely got their children outside of the school. But I will be at the reunification soon, Kurt and Pari, giving you all more updates and speaking with parents about how they're feeling tonight.
Hey, Kelsey, anything about, and I know this is such a fluid situation here, but everyone's trying to figure out who the shooter is. I mean, was it a student? Was it some stranger? Have you heard anything from the police or the mayor about anything about the shooter?
You know, Kurt, this situation is just so fresh, it's so fluid. As you mentioned, we are still trying to learn those details. But for this situation to happen at an elementary school, I mean, clearly the objective right now is to learn who.
And these kids are bad, man. They getting worse and worse. There's definitely some intent toward that, premeditation. I mean, who would teach their kid to have this much anger to want to delete their teacher? Evil world.
Pulled the trigger. I have reached out to Newport News Public Schools spokesperson Michelle Price to gather more details from her, but as of now, she has not gotten back with me. So throughout the day, I will work to learn more information about who the gunman was. It's just a sad situation that this happened right here at an elementary school.
Yeah, that's right, Kelsey. Do you have any more details possibly?
Kelsey doing her damn job, though. She ain't messed up one time. She's good.
We know from Chief Drew in his speech, well, his press conference earlier, that this happened around 2. Did you talk to parents about what time they were able to get to the school? Because everything is blocked off. We understand it's very hard to get to the scene right now.
It is very hard to get to the scene, Pari. I mean, I actually tried to get to the reunification center myself to speak with parents, but a lot of streets here are blocked off. Police are not letting a lot of people through. But I've only been at the scene for maybe like 30 minutes now, but I've seen parents, you know, right here. I mean, take a look at this parent right here. She is literally holding her children tight right now. I can't even imagine how they're feeling. I mean, I can maybe right now try and speak with them. Ma'am, how are you feeling tonight after?
No comment.
Are you just happy that your child is in your arms? Okay.
She like, no comment.
Right now, these parents do not want to speak, Kurt and Pari. As you can imagine, they are pretty shaken up. But there will be more parents, as you see, just coming to this caution tape right here and just going home. And as you can imagine, I mean, like I mentioned before, they are just happy that their child is coming.
Dang, she chasing down witnesses? Dog. She doing her damn job. I don't know. What do y'all think that was a little invasive that she tried to get a comment out of those parents? You know, it's the news business, right? Media.
Coming home with them safe and sound.
Absolutely, Kelsey. A very scary situation. Go ahead.
Well, and Kelsey, I see more family members walking up, and not to be intrusive, but I think to hear from them just what was going through their mind. So I would see if any of them have anything to say, that family that's walking right behind you.
Of course. Let's see, Kurt. I'm so sorry, ma'am. How are you feeling right now? I mean, is this your daughter, your granddaughter?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened when you got the call today?
Actually, my husband called me before the school did. You believe that?
Wow. I know you're probably feeling very happy right now that your granddaughter is just safe and sound.
Sure am.
Was it scary?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. I ain't gonna lie. She put in work for this interview, got the little girl involved. Jesus.
I know. Is this your sister? Is this your friend?
My sister.
Does it make you feel uncomfortable even sending your granddaughter back to Richneck on Monday?
We'll have to wait and see about that one.
Well, I'm glad that you all are okay. Thank you so much.
We had to keep our book bags in the classroom because we didn't have time.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're safe. Kurt, Pari, it is chaotic out here. I mean, just you heard it from those little girls that I spoke with, the grandmother that I spoke with. They are on edge. I don't know how old those little girls were, but clearly they are very young and they are traumatized. You heard her say that she had to leave all of her items in the classroom as they rushed for safety.
Wow.
And as far as the teacher, the last word we had was that she was in critical condition. Is anything else being said at the scene about the teacher who was shot?
As of now, what we do know is, like you said, the teacher remains in critical condition and she was taken to Riverside Hospital, Kurt. As of right now, those are all the details that we know. But as I mentioned before, I will be out here all day. So the goal is to learn more about the teacher, the gunman, and what led up, to the shooting that happened here at an elementary school in Newport News.
All right, Kelsey, we know that you're going to stay on top of that and continue to try to talk to family members and get more details out there. And again, just to recap, the latest information we have from police is that teacher is in critical condition.
That's right, Kurt. We're going to toss it right now to reporter John Burkett from our sister station WTVR out of Richmond. Now, they've been on the scene for a little bit earlier today. John, what has it been like out there? What can you tell us at this moment in time?
Pretty chaotic. There's a swath of parents that are about a block away from this scene that are waiting to get their kids by grade level. That's what's happening now. You got parents lined up behind me trying to go in and get their children. Obviously, the emotions are high here in this area, or they were high. They have calmed since. I did get to speak with Chief Steve Drew a couple minutes ago. Here's what he had to say about this situation.
I want to make sure that they're okay. I just came back and briefed the mayor on what we had, and I went up and talked to a crowd that we had up the street, and understandably so, they're very concerned. You know, so we're bringing them up by grade level, and we're having parents with ID work with school officials to get students back with their loved one. That's my number one priority.
And it's wild that you're really not safe anywhere. You have an elementary school vulnerable to a shooting by a 6-year-old. God, I really hope that this is not coming from the community, please.
What we did have about 2 o'clock this afternoon, there was a gunshot inside the school here at Richneck Elementary. We have an adult female, a teacher who has been transported to a local hospital where she's undergoing treatment. She is considered critical right now. As we continue, we have officers there giving us updates on how she's doing there. That's important to me. But the number one thing right now is to get these kids back with their parents. Like I said, the school is completely secure at this point. It was cleared with our SWAT team and officers, but in a very deliberate but orderly fashion. I don't want to alert those children anymore. We have recovered evidence in the location where the shooting took place at, and that's sort of where we're at this point.
I know that initially came in as an active shooter, but you guys pretty much had somebody pretty quickly.
Yeah, we were here. We were here within minutes of the scene and the situation. We did not have an individual who was going around the school firing off rounds. We have an isolated location where the shooting occurred, and there will be more to follow about that.
And they're saying the shooting was not accidental. From what I'm reading here, not giving the identity, but yes, it was a 6-year-old student.
We do have the individual in custody, but right now, again, just want to reiterate the safety of our teacher that is recovering, getting treated at the hospital, and getting these young kids. And I will tell you this, I'd be remiss if I didn't say I could not be more impressed with the way the officers responded, the sheriff's department. We have school board members here, Dr. Parker, the school superintendent, the mayor was here, we just briefed him. But it'll be a little bit of a process, and there'll be some more information that follows. But right now, I just want to get those kids back with their families. I understand their frustration and concern at seeing their loved ones. That's the top priority right now.
There are things out there floating around already, as we well know. When these things happen, it happens pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm looking at this Facebook post, and people saying they need to charge the parent. Still don't know who this 6-year-old is. It's wild. I mean, this kid was definitely taught how to deal with this firearm, how to aim it, how to fire it at somebody that he didn't like.
Is it safe to say a student may be involved in this?
I think we can say that that's a possibility. I don't want to confirm anything just yet. I want to make sure that we have made all the notifications we need to out of respect for family and loved ones. Okay?
Anything else you can add, man? You think?
No, I just could not be more impressed with the quick response, the officers, the sheriff's department, the way they responded. And I'll say this, that the faculty in there and those kids just did an amazing job and have done an amazing job for us, and I cannot be more impressed with them.
These kids are bad, y'all. I've been telling you, bad to the bone.
My sources do tell me that a student possibly is involved in this situation. Again, a teacher, a female teacher, shot this afternoon. As you heard the chief say, she is in critical condition at a local hospital. In Newport News, John Burkett, CBS 6 News, CBS 3 News.
Yeah, John, thank you so much for that. We know that this is a developing situation, but did Chief Steve Drew tell you at any chance when they're going to talk to you guys again and maybe have more details for you from their response?
He said as information becomes more available, he may come back and talk to us this evening. Right now, it's a very fluid situation. A lot of things going on behind me. As you can see, their parents lined up still trying to get to their children. So that's their first priority. They're about a block from where I'm standing. I'm sorry for your viewers. I don't really know this area because we're from Richmond. But about a block from this area, there is a huge contingency of parents still waiting to get their children. So that's first and foremost what they want done. They have school officials down there announcing, like when I was over there, they said first grade parents, can you please come get your children? So I don't know where they are at this moment, but that is the process they're undergoing right now.
John Burkett with our sister station in Richmond, giving us live coverage and that interview with the chief. John, thank you so much. And you heard John ask the chief there, is it safe to say that this was like a student that was involved? And the chief kind of hinted that's yes, you could probably say that, but he didn't want to go into further detail. So Just the recap, a teacher in critical condition and the chief hinting that it was a student who was involved in pulling the trigger.
Wow.
Yeah, of course, this is still a developing situation. We're getting more information as it comes in. We have multiple crews on the scene, and we'll continue to bring you any details that we learn of. But as Kurt mentioned, that teacher is in critical condition, but this is an isolated incident from what Chief Drew says, and that area is clear except for the reunification of students with their parents coming out, and they are being escorted by police.
We're going to continue to stay on top of this developing story and have updates as well on WTKR.com, and we're back right after this break.
Gang violence and other kind of violence. So it is what it is.